Hey, what's up, Block 22 Nation? Oh my God, Dames is so excited for this week of NFL. He is going ballistic. And I am containing my emotions a little bit better, but equally as excited. Dames Marvs, go
Neither one of
Boomerangs.
us are going to lose this week, Gobo. I'm calling it now. Neither one of us is going to lose.
So we're gonna pick exactly the same teams?
No, I mean,
Oh, you mean the Packers and Seahawks aren't gonna lose? That is accurate, yes. So something to look forward to is that we can make our picks completely unbiased by the motivations of our favorite teams. Well, there are still divisional matchups. Either way, let's start in the echoed halls of learning, the NCAA. Couple of college football games went down this last week. Oregon beats Michigan in the big house by 21 points. Indiana beats the ever living tar out of Michigan State and remains undefeated. I think these are the two best teams in college football right now. We got a big test for Indiana with Michigan coming up. Um, man, what do we know? What make it make
we
sense?
know that Oregon is good. One of the things that upset me this weekend was Iowa State. I'm not a huge fan of Iowa State, but I did like that story. And they did go down to Texas Tech, which I kind of predicted on another show because they always play them tough. But yeah, they went down. Um, it must be nice to play for a service academy this year. They're all doing pretty well.
Well, I was gonna say Navy finally got upended, but Army is still rolling, man.
Penn State, not as good as Ohio State. What a boring kind of game, though.
I don't know, like 20 to 13.
I
Like,
was
yeah, you want
hoping
to
for
see.
like
I know it's like 20 to 13 between Ohio State and Penn State. You would say like, oh, what was that? Like 1921, the leather helmets. Um, but yeah, no, I mean Vanderbilt is officially ranked and they beat Auburn. They this is the first time since I saw it was like the first time since like 1906 Vanderbilt has beaten every team from Alabama.
I I may be foreshadowing here, Gobo, but I see the first makings of complaints for the 12 team system that we're looking at because Boise State fucking belongs in this tournament. And they are currently there,
They're in 12,
but
yeah. They're gonna move up.
I
They're
feel
gonna
like
move
they
up after that win.
I don't do they move up?
I think so because
Another chance for them
Penn
to move
State
up.
lost. Let's see here. Ole Miss won, Vanderbilt won. Iowa State was a 17. Georgia won, obviously. Indiana won. Texas A&M, Tennessee won. SMU won. Okay, so maybe they don't move up unless they take over Penn State. I don't know if Penn State falls that far though.
I feel like they're they're not gonna go above 12 and they're not gonna lose and
No, not in the Mountain
they're not
West.
gonna be in 12th place.
No fucking
They're not
way.
gonna be in the top 12 when it all comes down. That's where I'm at.
I don't know, man.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
I'm just look, I'm not
I agree
saying
though.
that it
I'm
is.
with you. I think
Okay,
there's
that's all I'm
potential.
trying to put out there.
There's potential. Like Florida's playing Texas. I mean, that's a tough game. Georgia and Ole Miss play each other. I mean, you never know.
I just don't see a spot for him, dude.
Alabama, who's 11 right now, has to go to LSU this week. Like,
Is there a better story than Indiana right now?
no,
I don't think so.
not really. No, Indiana being good at football is it was not on anybody's bingo card this year.
Indiana, Michigan. I mean, look, Michigan is not Michigan of old right now, but still a prestigious win.
They're still Michigan though. Like
When
they're
you can
still
say
big
they
boys.
won the national title last year and we beat them this year, That's not nothing. All right. So my thing is you had Ohio State beat Penn State, right? Which they needed to do to stay as a favorite when they have to go to Indiana. So I do think Ohio State will be favored in that game, but that's the game I've got circled on my calendar right now.
That's
It's
the big
Ohio
one.
State at Indiana.
Absolutely. Well,
That
if Indiana beats Michigan this week, which I think they will, I don't think they should have a problem with
should not
it.
have a problem.
Um, yeah, Ohio State, Indiana, that's a banger,
Still
which
got
is
to play the
crazy to
game,
me
Bobo.
because
Still
that's a
got to play the game.
bye most years.
So yeah.
They still got to
Um,
play it. Um,
who do you I got either Oregon, Texas, Oregon, Georgia in my absolute final. And
in
I'm
the
okay with
in
that.
the
And I'm okay with that.
it depends on seeding because I think Indiana and Oregon will end up 1 and 2. Either that or Oregon, Ohio State. So I think it's definitely Oregon in the final.
God, dude, I just had this what are you
And
talking
I'm
about
hoping
moment,
for an
but you're
upset.
right, dude. If Indiana beats Ohio State, they're number two.
They're number 2. There's no reason they wouldn't be, especially
Whoa.
especially in the tournament.
Wow. I
That's
was like, what are
something.
you talking about? And then I was like, you know what? Okay. All right. I can't wait to see
Not
how it all
nothing.
shakes out. I cannot.
But yeah, I'm also kind of hoping for like a sleeper team, like maybe Tennessee. Um, I
Or
like Boise
seven.
State a lot too. I think if Boise State gets into the tournament, it could be interesting
Well, that's what
because
I'm saying, man. They if they if they win out, they deserve to be in there. If they're
they
not,
do.
people should complain.
They will.
That's all I'm gonna
We
say.
all remember 2005. We all remember 2005. Everyone thought Oklahoma was going to lambast that Boise State team, and they fucking beat them. They beat Adrian Peterson. So either way. All right, college. We've spent enough time talking about college
Wait, wait,
football.
wait, wait. Let's talk about
So,
Colorado a little bit. You got to talk about
we're
Colorado.
gonna talk about Colorado a little bit. Okay. We had a bye last week, so we played Texas Tech this week. Um, I don't think. I mean, Colorado would have to find a way to like sneak their way into the Big Ten championship. I don't think there's a way of doing it without a bunch of teams losing. To make the playoff. I think we're in a bowl game this year for sure. I think that's already pretty much guaranteed. I don't see us in the playoff though. No, I don't think they deserve to be. Dude, we lost to Nebraska like by a lot. Like it wasn't a close game.
You wouldn't now, though.
I mean, so what?
Okay,
That's
but
not how college
that's a
football
testament
works.
to that's a testament to why I've always hated college football until now. Because
Fair.
that loss would have been like, you're done. You're done.
Yeah.
That's not the reason you're done. You lost other games that make you done. But
We lost to Kansas State too, yeah, which
yeah.
sucks. But
So two, I don't know, dude. There's always a way. Just keep your head up.
I'm not really worried about it. Like, I think this is our last year with Prime, and I think this is our last year of kind of college football relevance. Travis Hunter, Horn, and Shador are all going into the draft after the season. So
You
like,
think
there's no
Keon's
really.
leaving?
Oh yeah, I 100% do. I think he's going to Florida State next year.
All right. I was gonna say because he said that he still wants to coach. He's still hungry. You just think it'll be somewhere else. All right, that's fair. That's fair. Let's move on.
I do. I do. I don't think it'll be in Colorado anymore. All right. Pros, Saints.
Pros.
Dennis Allen gets his walking papers. Starts out with a 2-0 start, 7 losses in a row. Hit the road, Jack.
All right. I mean, how do you feel about this? He came in 2022, so he's only been there 2 years.
The Saints have been predominantly bad the last couple of years. They started out so quickly that I thought that they really had a chance this year to really like do some things, and then that petered out when Carr got injured. And you can't really put that on the coach, but the fact of the matter is there wasn't like a sustainable backup plan, and they're just not playing very well right now. And so it's like, is it all Allen's fault? No, but like I kind of agree that like firing a coach changes the culture of your locker room, and it's done wonders for teams in the past. Like I look at teams like the 2016, 2017 Rams. When they fired Jeff Fisher and brought in McVay, they won the Super Bowl. They wouldn't have won the Super Bowl if they didn't do that.
My question is, it's a twofold question. Um, why now, when you know you're either going to go with an interim because you don't have your guy? Um, it kind of just messes with the team chemistry. But and then the second part is why now, and is Belichick an option?
Oh my God. You had to bring him into this. And I respect you for doing that because it's a valid question. Um, so firing him now, I think is just a really bold statement to the team saying that nobody's safe, and if you don't get your shit together, if you don't play, then you're not gonna get your new contract, you're gonna be traded, you're gonna be cut. It's the management telling the team, get your shit together because nobody is safe. Um, and it's a bold statement to the team, but I think it's a statement that really like it gets players' attention when they come to practice and the coach is gone. That says like I better figure my shit out. And so the rest of the season is a tryout for every one of these players. Um, is Belichick a viable option? That's really hard because it's like if you look at Bill Belichick, he and this is something I don't know enough about the Saints front office. I don't know about their GM situation to where it's like in New England, Belichick was kind of given carte blanche. He's like, I want this player, and you're going to pay them this much, and I want them playing at this position and at this part in the roster. And he won so much, they were like, yeah, no, you got it, coach. Like, and I think the fact of the matter is the fact that you haven't really heard his name on a lot of these questions of people who are like coming in when these coaching opportunities come up is that I don't think a lot of other teams want to give him that carte blanche kind of like you can do whatever you want. And so I think that he's probably less interested in the job than they would be in him.
Well, the reason I bring it up is because they had a guy like that before. His name was Sean Payton.
His name's Sean Payton. Yeah, he's in Denver now.
So I mean, to me, one devil replaces the other devil. One devil did win a Super Bowl there, and this other devil happened to win, I don't know, six.
Yeah. I think it's more likely. Okay, so wrap your minds around this, dames and our however many viewers, um, that McDaniels or not McDaniels, oh my God, McCarthy gets fired in Dallas. I think Belichick makes more sense in Dallas.
I mean, we kind of had this discussion. Does Jerry, I mean, are those two minds ready to meld together? It
I
doesn't
know
seem
that
like a good pairing to me, but what do
I
I?
think that it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, you would love this guy because you're basically the same person, but you end up just fucking hating each other because you're the same person. That's how I feel about Jerry Jones and Bill Belichick. But I could see Jerry Jones. He's a fucking. I mean, he owns the Cowboys. He also like is a cowboy. Like
Yeah,
he
here's my first thought upon hiring Belichick in Dallas. He'd be like, "Why the fuck did you sign Dak Prescott for $60 million a year?
right,
Why?
right, exactly.
Why'd you do that?"
He's
So
like, why did you get rid of Andy Dalton? He was good enough. Yeah. Exactly. Like he's okay with a mediocre quarterback. He doesn't give a fuck. He's like we're gonna cheat anyways. We don't need to pay all this
like
money.
like
Maybe
with Tommy.
yeah. He's like, what about this Deshaun guy in Cleveland? He seems like a decent fella.
Wait, no, we got Sam Howell now. We're good.
Yo, they got Sammy. Anyways, yeah, whatever, Belichick. Okay. Let's talk about Jason Kelsey. And I have so much admiration for this guy just because of how much he did for Philadelphia, and he was kind of a media darling, bringing attention to the offensive line position, which I played, and I really appreciated that about him.
He made guys like us sexy, Gobo.
He did. I mean, like, look, yeah, like I said. The beard. Like we weren't having this discussion 10 years ago. Um, he had a negative run-in with some fans. He buys himself a 12 pack of beer. He's walking out of the store. He's surrounded by fans on all different areas. They're all just kind of like, "Hey, Kelsey, Kelsey, come talk to me." And some guy says, "Your brother is a F slur," referring to members of the LGBT community, and gets in his face and pushes him. Jason responds by taking the gentleman's phone, smashing it because he's essentially the Hulk, and then saying, "Who is the F slur now?" Um, Very well documented. Um, a pretty negative situation. You and I talked about this earlier, but why don't you share your thoughts with our viewers about how you feel about Jason's handling of the situation.
Well, first of all, the word faggot has no place after like 1995 in describing anything at all. And I said it here for effect, and I really don't feel good about it, Gobo. But here's the thing, and I'm kind of I we talked about I kind of wish we didn't talk about our stances on this. Um, he did offer an apology on the broadcast that evening, but I think the apology was wrong. I think he should have apologized for just saying the word and said, I stand by the fact that I'll break the phone of any idiot that wants to be a homophobe for no reason. I mean,
Yeah.
my brother's dating a beautiful woman, and if that makes him, in your mind, if that makes you want to be a homophobic piece of shit, I got nothing for you. But what I would like to apologize is to those people who I've offended by using that word. That's all he needed to do. And I wish that's what he would have done, because that's kind of like I don't know if you ever watched the show Sports Night back in the day.
Ooh, I did. I don't have a very encyclopedic
Let me just
recall it.
tell you real quick. There was an episode where one of the main characters was quoted in an article as saying that he was pro marijuana, the legalization of marijuana. And the network was like, you can't say that. And he's like, they're like, apologize on the air tonight. And he's like, to who? He goes, my opinion's my opinion. They're like, apologize. He's like, to who? And then the main station guy goes, who cares? So they get to the live broadcast and it comes out and he goes, when you're 10 years old, all you want to be is your older brother. And for me, that meant smoking marijuana. And essentially what he alludes to is that his brother died in a car wreck from doing marijuana, and he apologized to his brother. He goes, "You deserve better in my hands." And like I'm getting goosebumps right now because it really is like Aaron Sorkin's like the master
Yeah.
of writing, and like that to me would have been a great moment where he's like, "I'm not sorry to the guy who's a complete homophobe. I'm sorry to the people that deserve better in my hands." So that's, I mean, that's where I kind of drew that stance, but not a cool situation at all to be in.
No, and I think that it also like it can be said something about like the process of being a celebrity and like living in the public eye and like how much do you owe to the fans versus how much are you allowed to be your own private citizen. I think that there's some discussion around that, but I think at the end of the day it's just like homophobia is really never acceptable. And I think that like when the kid did this, he was, trying to be the, this like edge lordy type of thing. It's just like, I'm going to talk shit. Like everyone knows how tight the Kelsey brothers are. Everyone knows that Travis Kelsey got kicked off of Cincinnati and his brother went to the coach and he's like, you got to give my brother another shot. He messed up, but like he's a great player. He's a great guy. You got to give him another shot. If you want me, you got to take my brother too. And like when that happened, because of that, Travis Kelsey is the best. I mean, he's arguably one, if not the best tight end in the NFL right now. So it's like these guys are so tightly knit, and people know that about them. And to use that to try to get a rise out of him, I think is a really shitty thing to do as a fan. That being said, nobody's going to remember that kid said the F slur because nobody knows who that kid is. They don't care. They're never going to know who he is
Yeah.
aside from the kid who Jason Kelsey broke your phone. Um, Jason, I mean, he needs to do better. That's why I agree with him apologizing, but on the same length, it's like, yeah, apologize for using the word, apologize to the LGBT community and saying like, those aren't my ideals. Like, say that, but like at the end of the day, these players, they don't owe you anything. These are men doing a job, like men and women. Like it doesn't matter what sport, if it's Caitlin Clark, if it's you know some trans boxer in the Olympics, whatever. They don't owe you anything. They're here to do their job, and if you enjoy watching them, you can watch them. That's a privilege as a fan. So the next time you see a professional athlete out in public and they look busy and they don't want to talk to you, like leave them the fuck alone. How hard is that? That's kind of where my stance is on this. I don't condone anybody using that term. But like at the end of the day, like fuck you for getting in his face over what? Over who his brother's dating? That has nothing to do with anything. Whatever. I mean, it pisses me off that people are so up in arms and it's just like, oh, well, we hate Taylor Swift because of this, because of that. It's just like Taylor Swift is not, and Jason Kelsey barely know each other.
Right.
That's it. At the end of the day, that's the long and short of it, is that they know each other by association. I don't know my fucking brother's girlfriend that well. Like,
Right.
I don't care. Anyways, so it's frustrating. I still support Jason Kelsey. Um, Despite him saying that word, I think that he definitely made a mistake. I think that he acknowledged it and we can move on. We can be adults and move on.
For sure.
So let's move on to the trade deadline. We have lots of people getting traded around the NFL, um, including a current Packer and a former Packer. So we'll start up in the frozen tundras of Detroit, where they enjoy the warmth of a dome. Former Packers defensive linebacker, um, who went to the Browns, um, heads on over to the Detroit Lions to help replace Aiden Hutchinson, which I think is interesting. I think he's a suitable replacement. He's definitely not a long-term replacement though. But a couple of draft picks go around. Zadarius Smith in the silver and blue.
Yeah, I don't know that they did enough, Gobo. I think everything on their team says Super Bowl ready, except their
Yeah.
pass rush. And
I
quite
I would
frankly,
have I would have much preferred they go and get Max Crosby from the Raiders
dude,
and
like, yeah, I mean, come on. The guy wanted out. I don't know. The only thing is they might have tried. I don't know. The Raiders might have said, fuck you. He's all we got.
I feel
It's the
like there
only
was
reason people
probably
showing up.
I feel like there were suitors for Max Crosby. I mean, how could there not be? He's like one of the best defensive ends in the league.
Dude, if you're
Um,
not calling for Max Crosby, you don't intend on winning. Like,
exactly. And I know that he makes a lot of money, and I know that that's a cap hit, but it's like at the end of the day, you got one of the best players in the league saying, "I hate this team. I want out. Get me out of here." That's your that's your move, man. Like if I'm a GM of the Giants or not the Giants, if I'm the GM of the Lions or the Vikings or the Chiefs, any team that has a chance of winning the Super Bowl this year, I'm like, why are we not getting this guy? Let's figure it out.
yeah.
It's like you're fuck your draft picks, man. Like this, you're not winning the Super Bowl next year. You're winning the Super Bowl this year if you get him.
And show me a guy in college football that's as good as Max Crosby right now.
Well, we won't know that.
Show me.
Yeah, like
Show me.
yeah,
He's
no,
he's worth whatever pick you're giving is my point.
no. These, I think that a lot of these teams are miserly, but on top of it, also think that I think the Raiders were kind of were a little butthurt over what he said, and they're like, we're not fuck you, we're not trading you. You get to play
Right.
here.
Yep.
I think that was probably part of it. Um, Dallas gets a new quarterback in town. Dak Prescott injured. We're going to talk about the injury here in a second. Um, your Seahawks send down their backup, Sam Howell, and they get a good pick in return.
Ha ha ha. Seahawks fans. You're not gonna get Sam Howell under center. Not in Seattle anyway. That's all I have to say. We got a third
You know,
round pick.
all I can think about is fucking Moneyball. When I think about this situation, where
Yeah,
he's like, you can't start Pena at first tonight. He's like, well, I am going to start Pena at first. No, you can't because Pena plays for the Tigers now.
yeah, that's
He's
right.
like, you traded Pena? Yep. And I'll trade anybody else I have to make you make this system work. It's like outstanding.
Man, I hate to get off on that tangent, but Philip Seymour Hoffman just owned that role. So
He was so good.
he's
And it's Art Howell was not like that at all.
I know,
He
but it's
was
just
he
like
was 100% on board in real life.
he's
But
like
man, Philip Seymour Hoffman he was a legend, man. I love
you
that.
are
I
ruining
love
this.
everything he's done.
Like you are killing this team.
Yeah, and just how he's like hang dog and he's like fat and kind of like ugh. And just like so despondent about his position.
I love that movie.
And
I,
I love that. But I think it's probably the best sports movie to ever come out. Um anyways, um so Sam Howell gone, Pena to the Tigers. So here's how, if you want to make a Super Bowl run, this is the type of trade you make. Marshawn Lattimore is a Washington Commander. That's sexy. That's a sexy trade.
dude, how do you open things up more for your quarterback? Give him a running game.
Oh, he's a corner.
I know, but give him a running
Oh,
game, which they will do. They will do that. But on the other side of that, just remember like teams like uh Seattle, for example. When you gave a young quarterback defense like Richard Sherman, I mean, I'm not saying that he's Richard Sherman, but he's certainly
nobody
an
built
upgrade over what they have. And they say defense wins football. I mean, and it certainly has not been that way for them up to this point. They've been having to score. Well, not having to score, but they've been scoring a lot of points.
I'm gonna say, yeah.
And their
Well, I
defense,
think that I like this trade because it's like, yeah, Washington is not struggling on offense right now.
yeah.
So,
I mean, the rich get richer, basically.
so speaking of the rich not getting richer, these two teams, this trade makes absolutely no sense to me. The Bears send, I mean, arguably their best tackle, Khalil Herbert, to the Bengals for a seventh round pick when you're already struggling to protect your rookie quarterback that you just paid a bunch of money to.
Well, and then if you want to pair that with the injury to Darnell Wright,
Who the fuck is blocking for Caleb Williams? We might have a shot at this point. Let's go to Chicago and try out.
I mean,
I have a torn
he can
meniscus.
take up space. I know that.
God damn, bro. Like, I cannot believe that they traded him. No, this just goes to show you the Bears will bear. They had, and I will say it's painful for me to say because like I hate the Bears in so many ways, but like they have something. They have they have a they have a good quarterback. Like Caleb needs a lot of work, but he has potential. He is very talented. You have a good receiving core. You have a running back who doesn't fumble every goddamn time. Your defense is okay. What the fuck are you doing? If you're gonna make the playoffs, it's this year.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not gonna stop my enemy making mistakes. Anyways, Steelers
Oh,
making
wait.
oh,
This gives me my perfect time for my soliloquy that I mentioned to you earlier.
okay, okay.
Since we're going rogue on the Bears, let me just do it real quick. Bears fans, y'all remember when you drafted Mitchell Trubisky and you had John Fox, and then you got rid of John Fox and you brought in Matt Nagy, whatever,
Mhm.
and then you Mitchell Trubisky's out of the
Got
league.
rid of
Out
Mitch
of the league. Um,
to the Steelers.
untainable. He was completely ruined by all these distractions, never the same again. So what do? You give Matt Nagy Justin Fields, and then you fire Matt Nagy, and you bring in just or Matt Eberflus, and Justin Fields is shell shocked, having again a second coach, second coordinator in as many seasons, just in the middle of when he was like developing. Maybe Pittsburgh can save him, but you fucked that up. You fucked that up so hard. So then you give Matt Nagy Caleb Williams
No, Eberflus.
or Eberflus. I'm sorry. You
Yeah,
give
they're both
Eberflus.
Matt. It's confusing.
Yeah, it's like a revolving door of whatever's coaches and QBs and coordinators. Oh my, in Bears.
No, it's you're right. It's a fucking it's like one of those spinning doors at the bank, and just every couple of spins, quarterback falls
So my
out.
question is, and I'm going to call it right now: Matt Eberflus is gone. Caleb Williams will have another coach and coordinator, so that the Bears will have done this to three now consecutive quarterbacks. One of them being the biggest show since probably Andrew Luck. Like honestly, at
No,
least on
no,
paper.
I can't think of another number one pick that was expected to come in and make an impact that quickly.
Like yeah,
Aside,
the prospect is huge.
Mhm.
You fucked that up. You could have traded that pick away and saved all of this. Then you would have Justin Fields, the same coach. You only got a
with
sixth
with
round
Roma Dunze, with DJ Moore, and then you could have gotten like two offensive linemen.
and still had three draft picks left.
Yeah, you still
You
get DeAndre Swift.
you as an organization, I mean, I'm just a dude in a room with a hoodie on, but I can see just how miserable it must be to be a Bears fan. And I mean, Gobo, I'm like, if this was the Rams or the 49ers, the 49ers especially, like I probably hate them on the level that you hate the Bears. This, I would be like just cackling insanely about how stupid this all is. And I perhaps will when they sign Brock Purdy to a $60 million a year contract. I'll probably
That is going to be a good day for you.
be where you're at because that means they can't afford all the other things that make Brock Purdy what he is. I don't
Right.
want to get off too much of
I
a
mean,
but what's
it's a little different because the 49ers have been traditionally good and the Bears have sucked for like a decade. So it's
the
harder to cackle because it's like
correct?
they keep fucking it up over and over and over again.
Yeah. Uh, it's like three times in a row. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
Why are you drafting quarterbacks?
Like
You
at all.
know what? Let's just move on because
Yeah, anyways,
I
yeah.
made my
Fuck
point. You guys understand what I'm saying. Bears fans, I don't, I like your team, but I question the ownership on the daily. They are awful, awful. Bears fans, what do you think?
Throw down in the comments. Boys in navy and orange. Um, all right. Pittsburgh Steelers, one of our kind of like secondary lovable teams here. The great Mike Tomlin. Um, pick up a couple of dudes. Um, and I honestly like I'm pretty pissed about this second one, but the first one, Mike Williams from they get Mike Williams from the Jets, and I'm assuming the Jets were cool trading him because he didn't play for the Packers in 2015. Um, so so Aaron Rodgers is like, I don't fucking know that guy, get him out of here. That's my Aaron Rodgers impression. Um, and then on top of that, they come on down to Green Bay where yeah, Brian Gutekunst, our GM, continues to be one of my least favorite people by trading away one of our defensive starters, Preston Smith, for a seventh round draft pick. A seventh round draft pick for a starting linebacker. Ah! So not only do we not add any players to the team, because here's the thing: the Packers are in that scenario. They're in that conversation of teams that could win the Super Bowl this year. I'm not saying we will. I know we got a lot to overcome. We got to win some big games. We got to beat teams that are better than us, but we're in the conversation. And you trade away Preston Smith. And I saw the justification. I read the article. It's like, oh, he's got 2 years left on his contract before he renews, and his production has been down. He only has 2 sacks this year. Fuck that, dude. Like it's the middle of the damn season. Like fuck. Like
There is
we
a
have
such thing.
playoffs. You're gonna have like a backup in there.
There is a such thing as addition by subtraction. But as far as this season goes, this ain't it. Um, the Steelers are they're making a run, dude. They're
No.
telling the league right now, we're here to fucking win.
Well, I think the league has been consistently like Mike Tomlin, you don't have the talent to win the Super Bowl, and he's like, hold my beer. Like
Do you know who Mike Williams reminds me of in his game? Pickens. These guys can jump. They can 50-50 ball on both sides of the field now. Who has that?
I was gonna say he kind of reminds me of Antonio, but without the massive
Yeah,
mental.
but who has that? Russell Wilson now has the ability to just huck the ball down the field, which he's one of the better deep ball throwers in the NFL still.
He's
And if
got
he
a
has two
cannon for
guys
sure.
that can win 60-40, get out of here. Get out of here. They're
Well, and
making a
especially,
run.
yeah,
They're telling everybody they're making a run. I love it.
you know,
It's-
I can get behind the Steelers. I can get behind that team. It's easy enough to do. Um, all right, injuries. Fuck a lot. Dak Prescott, and CeeDee Lamb go down in the Cowboys loss. CeeDee Lamb, kind of up in the air. I'm guessing he will probably be back within this week or in a couple of weeks. Dak Prescott is going out for an undetermined amount of time. And we kind of talked about this. Do we see Dak on the field this year or in a Cowboys uniform ever again?
Well, here's the I have two answers for that. They traded a third round pick for Sam Howell, which screams of desperation. Um, I'm guessing they wanted Sam Howell because he's played that division before and he knows Washington. That's the
Yeah.
only thing I can think of that you would give a third round pick for him. I think we gave a sixth. I don't remember, but it wasn't a lot. And so when John Schneider saw that opportunity to shut up the Seahawk fans in Seattle and get another third round pick, I love it. I love it. So I look forward to seeing Sam Howell play for the Cowboys. But honestly, if Dak didn't have anyone to throw to and CD's out now too, what
What the fuck is Hal gonna do? I
what are
mean, this
you
is
what are you gonna do?
if you watch the recap show, I'll say it again. The Cowboys are done this season.
Yeah.
That's why I said don't. Even if Dak recovers, don't put him back on the field. You're not making the playoffs.
Now, to answer your second part of that question, no one's gonna take him for $60 million. So yeah, he'll be back next year.
Yeah, I don't know. You act like the Bears aren't out there. No, I'm kidding.
Well,
No, the Bears don't have the money. They got Caleb. Um, Chris Olave, another team that's done. They just fired their coach. Chris Olave is one of the better receivers in the league. Gets a concussion. This is another one where I'm like, what is the point putting him back out there? Let him rest.
yeah, I mean, the Saints are done. I mean, if it's just a concussion, give him an extra week. Why not? Like, I
Yeah,
know
we're one of those
it's
like
a
bubble
concussion
helmet.
like it's nothing, but it's like if the guy can play and he's fully healthy, he should play. That's just how I feel. Like,
Oh, sure.
it's hurting his career to not play.
Well, and it's like I said, this is their tryout. Now, guys like Chris Olave aren't going to have to worry. He's if the Saints don't renew his contract, there's plenty of other teams that'll take him. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah,
but
it's
one of the coolest things about being an interim quarter or coach is being able to take the team you have with the promise and see what I can do to possibly become the head coach. And if you're taking away weapons just because you think it's funny or you don't want to play him because whatever, A, he's going to be pissed because that's numbers off of his career. And B, you're not giving your interim coach any opportunity to show you anything. So get healthy, Chris, come back.
I think that's fair. So, and then here's a team that's still in the hunt. The Philadelphia Eagles, AJ Brown um takes kind of a weird hit against Jacksonville. They go into the tunnel for halftime. He comes out with the team fully dressed, prepared to go in before the first offensive series. They take him back in the tunnel. He's out with a knee injury. Um, this one, I think that they want him on the field as soon as possible, because they need him to make a playoff run or to try to win that division. Um, so I'm thinking that, and AJ Brown's not the youngest guy either, man. Like this could be a big injury.
Could be. But again, he's integral to them going anywhere.
He is. I mean, they're. I mean, after that NFC Championship year in Philly a couple of years ago, they've lost a lot of pieces, and that's another one they can't really afford to lose. Um, Quandre Diggs is out for the season for Tennessee. Um, don't not much to say there. You know, heal up, son.
I mean, they've
Hopefully,
been trading everybody. They probably wish they would have traded the safety Quandre Diggs and got like a sixth or seventh round pick. I mean, he's probably not going to be back next year. So
yeah. No, I absolutely think so. Chicago loses Darnell Wright after trading their other tackle, so now they have to kind of make a prom dress out of carpet samples and put it in front of their new quarterback. So, it's, goddamn Bears, goddamn. We talked enough about the Bears. We don't need to keep talking about them. Um, and then Atlanta, Drake London with a hip flexor. This one's tough too because Atlanta, leading their division right now, are really a definitely, I think definitely a playoff team, potential playoff team. Um, without Drake London, do you think that slows Kirk down?
well, I remember when Seattle traded for Percy Harvin, he had a hip injury. Was supposed to be no big deal. Didn't end up playing until week 11 against Minnesota, oddly enough. And then he injured his hip again. Didn't play again until the Super Bowl, which he ultimately put away by returning the second half kickoff.
He says, "We get
Yeah,
we get
but
the Super Bowl."
so all examples of this seem to lead to they'll be okay. It's
Yeah,
like
hip flexor's not that big of a deal. I'm sure Drake will be fine.
a
Um,
couple weeks maybe.
yeah, I was like, he's probably back in this week. Um, all right, that's the injury report. Let's buys this week. Both of our teams, Packers, Seahawks, also Cleveland and the Is it the Rams or the Chargers?
The
Chargers?
Raiders. The Raiders.
Oh, the Raiders. Oh, Las Vegas. Yeah, that makes more sense. Um, so in Vegas, the summer breeze is a Raider or whatever that fucking stupid poem is. Um, anyways, yeah, so those four teams, I'm happy. I'm really happy the Packers are getting a bye after that loss to the Lions because we are, especially Jordan Love is beat up. Like he needs a break.
Yeah. I need a mental break from all of it.
We could all use a mental break. And I'm on vacation. I don't want to be like screaming at the TV in front of my wife's family. Like, yeah, it's too much. Um, anyways, going okay, so that's the buys. Here are the teams that will be in action this week, starting with a Thursday,
Jen.
week 10, Thursday night division game in the city of clams and broken promises, Baltimore taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Um, I believe I get first pick here. I'm gonna go way out in left field and say Baltimore wins at home. I don't know. I mean, I know it's prime time. I know it's a division game. There's a potential Cincinnati could upset here. I don't see it. I think Baltimore kicked the shit out of the Broncos last week. They're looking good. Um, I'm taking the Ravens 37-21 over their division rivals.
Well, you big fat schlub. I'm gonna be a
I do
bigger,
have some schlubbish tendencies.
I'm gonna be a bigger, fatter schlub, and I'm gonna take Cincinnati
Are you kidding me? Let's
in an
go.
upset.
Thanks for the free money, bitch.
Look,
Yeah,
I got 2 weeks up on you.
you do.
I'm feeling like, I can hold on to this over the course of the last two. Plus, I just think this is the game. Look, I'm going like when the schedule came out, I looked at this and I was like, fuck yeah, dude, that's gonna be an awesome game. Like fucking division game. Possibly for
From
like
before the season started, yeah.
yeah, possibly like for the division lead and whatnot. Joe Burrow's so awesome.
Oh, Joe.
None of that is shaken out. Because Pittsburgh is awesome. But let's I'm trying to throw a wrench in the whole thing with I'm gonna try and will this game, Gobo. I'm gonna will it, and I'm gonna say it's 28-27 Cincinnati.
Kitty cats.
Deal with it.
I like it. All right. Well, I'm
Oh,
glad you picked this game first because we thought we had a trash bowl last week. Oh my God. The Panthers going for their second consecutive win against G-Man Jass's red cold New York
listen,
Giants.
Gobo. Should New York win this game? Absolutely. They've lost like fucking six in a row. And Carolina's coming off a win. So I'm gonna go with Carolina, my friend. I'm gonna go with Carolina in London town or wherever the fuck it is, 8:30 a.m. Sunday morning. I'll be up bright and early to watch that game, probably be streaming on TikTok for the duration of that game. But I'm gonna go Carolina 24-17.
So I'm in California right now, so that game starts at 6:30 in the fucking morning here.
Are you gonna
Uh,
be there?
and yeah, I'll be here on Sunday.
You'll still be there. All right, great.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so I am going to I'm gonna make G-Man Jazz proud. I'm taking the Giants in
You
this
sack of
one.
shit.
I am. I really am. And I'm picking the Giants because they beat the Packers last year in London. I think that Daniel Jones has a thing for fish and chicks with huge teeth. So like, I'm thinking he shows out. I think the Panthers suck. The Giants also suck, but somebody has to win this game unless it's a tie. So I'm going to take the Giants 20-10 in foggy London town and yeah, we can all have a
Dude, how
We can have a bowl
They're
of
probably
porridge and we
used
can
to it. They're
celebrate
probably used to fucking ties since it's
because of
soccer,
soccer, yeah,
but
or
that'd be
football.
hilarious if they get tied in over there. All right, this is your game, my friend.
Okay, the Bears and the New England Patriots. Okay. This one is a lot tougher than it seems. We're back at Soldier Field. It's going to be cold, but both teams are outdoor cold teams, so it shouldn't impact one team or the other. Um, the
Another rookie
Patriots,
quarterbacks game.
I was going to say the quarterbacks kind of suck. Both, well, they don't suck. They just kind of haven't really gotten their opportunities yet. The Patriots have a better offensive line. The Patriots have a better running back. The Bears have a better defense. Man, this is a tough one. Oh man, I can't believe I have to pick this one first. I'll take Chicago at home. I don't feel good about it though. I don't feel good about taking Chicago in this game.
Give me your score.
Uh, 14-7.
14-7 Chicago. I'm also going to take Chicago, but I'm going to say 18-13.
I don't know.
I just
Ramondre could have a game here, but I don't know. I think the Bears defense is a little too good.
I think we see a touchdown from Rome Odunze,
Oh,
which we haven't seen for a while, and then I think a safety and a couple field goals. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with it.
I think shallow crosser to Cole Kmet and then a DeAndre Swift 1 yard plunge. And then Ramondre gets one
All right,
for New
yeah,
England.
fair.
Um,
Oh, I have
okay,
to call this really tough game.
yeah, Indy hosting Buffalo. Who you got?
I'm gonna pick the Bills.
Ah,
I think I'm
man,
gonna
I was
pick
gonna pick the Bills.
the Buffalo Bills are gonna 35, 35-19 Bills. Yeah, 35-19 Bills.
Okay, 36-20 Bills.
Oh, have fun with this
You
one,
knew I was gonna do
Jack.
it. $1 or 501, Bob. Yeah, Bills are gonna win this game. There's no really reason to talk about it. All right, Minnesota, Jacksonville. This one's mine. You know, I'm gonna take a page out of the Dame's book. I think that Minnesota still wins, but I think Jacksonville has a chance to win it, but blows it at the end. I'm gonna say 23-20, Minnesota on the road.
I'm gonna say 23-20 Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. Okay, I thought you were gonna go
Fuck it.
24-20.
No, I think this is where Jacksonville they're at home. They finally do they finally get it. They get it done. Because they're playing right up with the teams and just barely losing. And that's not sustainable. They're gonna win this one. This one I would bet money on.
Okay, okay. I don't want to bet on the Vikings,
Oh, it's
but
fine.
yeah. I'm glad you get to pick this one because you've prognosticated this game all season. So I'm gonna let you take us there. Denver at Kansas City.
Bro, look, Kansas City is 8-0 right now.
They are.
Denver just got waylaid.
They did.
A little bit of my enthusiasm is waning on this because I'm truly beginning to wonder if the Kansas City Chiefs can be beaten. And you can factor in whatever factors it is you need to say that. But Patrick Mahomes was fucking awesome in this last game.
Patrick Mahomes is fucking awesome.
And had it not been for a great run by the running back, he probably would have had his fourth touchdown pass on the very next play in overtime to win that game. But I also say this. There's players know things that we don't know. And out on that field in overtime on this last game, Tampa Bay, Kansas City, as soon as they called heads, you look at Baker Mayfield's face, he's like,
Over.
yeah,
Baker knows. He's been around the game long
he
enough. You
just
don't give
lost.
Patrick Mahomes a ball in overtime.
So no, I'm not gonna say Kansas City's gonna win this in a blowout because they haven't won by more than a score. Every game's been within a score. Every single one. 8-0.
Yeah.
I don't see that trend changing for this game, but I think that eventually, if this game were in Denver, I might do what you want me to do. But I can't be I can't be that irresponsible. I've already been irresponsible a number of times on this chart
On this week, yeah.
on this week. So I gotta kind of temper that. I don't know. I'm gonna say Kansas City 31, and I'm gonna say 27 for Denver. So Kansas City's got this.
Okay. I'm gonna take the
You want to
Broncos.
be irresponsible.
I do. I really do. And the reason I'm doing it is because I don't think that the Chiefs are unbeatable. I think that they will have a down week. And I think this is a division game. I think the Broncos are going to be pissed after getting their shit kicked, and they're going to be hungry to prove that they're still relevant. I think if the Broncos get blown out again, that their season is basically over. Like morally, I mean, they're still in it mathematically, but like this is a division game. Crazy shit can happen. I'm taking the Broncos, and I'm gonna say that it's not even gonna be that close. I'm taking 24-14.
You
I
heard it,
know.
folks.
It's wild.
This man has lost his mind.
I've lost my
The
marbles.
drugs must be extra good in California.
You know, they're not. I have not hit the dispo yet, so I am riding a clear wave of sobriety, and it's
That's what
it's
it is. He
terrible.
normally
That's what it is.
he
That's what it
normally
is.
takes high, and now that he's sober, he's like,
Yeah, and I'm picking low. Yeah. There you go. New Orleans, with their interim coach hosting Atlanta. This one's my pick. I'm not gonna keep you guys in suspense. Atlanta's gonna win this game. The fucking Saints are bad. Um, yeah, 37-17. Uh, I don't know, maybe what's his name? Blocks another punt. I don't give a shit.
let
Fuck,
me
fuck.
tell you something, sir.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
There is a history of teams firing their quarterback, getting an interim coach in there, and an interim coach comes in and gets them back. They just play with a different level of emotions into this game. And we all know one thing about Kirk Cousins on the other side. He is one of the most inconsistent quarterbacks in the entire NFL historically. Those two things make for a perfect storm for the New Orleans Saints to win at home against the Atlanta Falcons, but they won't.
Okay. I was like, God damn you, Dames.
But they won't. It's going to be
No.
34-12 Falcons. Sorry to build it up like that, but
I was like, yeah, you know what? Oh, I'm so happy you have to pick this next game.
me too.
Um, because I know you hate picking Tampa, and I know you hate the 49ers, and so let's go to Tampa, and what's Dame's gonna do? I'm so
Listen,
excited. I'm so excited for you to make this
we've
pick.
heard the 30-day activation thing for Christian McCaffrey. I've been told that he's coming back this week for
It's
this game. I got to think if that happens, San Francisco's going to win, even though they have to go all the way across the country, play on a really shitty field at 10 a.m. Maybe McCaffrey, maybe this injury field is not where you really want to bring McCaffrey back from an injury. Maybe you want to bring him back at your home field against Seattle, where you totally crush the hopes and dreams of all the Seahawk fans next week.
what I
That's
would do.
what I would do if I was coach, but god damn it. Look, wide receivers are dropping like flies. Both these teams are down on receivers. Um Brock Purdy does have Debo Samuels. He does. You know what? I'm gonna go Tampa. I'm gonna go Tampa winning this game. They're gonna be like they were pissed for losing in Kansas City in overtime. I'm gonna say 34-28 Tampa. That's it. I did it.
Damn it.
Tampa.
You had me going. I thought you were going to take San Francisco because you kind of, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I think Tampa's going to have a chip on their shoulder this week. Um, I think I also picked Tampa. I'm sorry. Yeah, because I don't think that they
I'm
bring
sorry.
McCaffrey. I
Don't
don't
you
think they
gotta pick
bring
your heart,
McCaffrey
man.
back. I think there's a potential the field could be wet. Like that's your franchise guy. You can see that like you can't really win without him. I just don't think San Francisco. And then it comes down to Baker Mayfield versus Brock Purdy. That's an easy call for me. It's Baker every time. I'll say 28-14 Bucks.
And the silver lining for me is if San Francisco wins, I mean, I can say, hey, I didn't predict it at least. That's
Yeah,
not really a silver lining at all, but
that's why I love that you had to pick that game first because like I knew you didn't want to pick either of those teams. Um,
I could
but
have elected for a tie.
you could have. That
Either
is
one of
that is
us
an
is
option. We have done that in the past on NFL. Um, okay, so we're talking about okay, I think this is probably our game of the week. Maybe Detroit Houston. But this one, Pittsburgh, Washington. This one's tough. It's in Washington. Oh my God. Pittsburgh just added this couple of new guys. Washington added Lattimore. Um, Man, oh my God, we're gonna see Marshawn Lattimore and Mike Williams on different teams now playing against each other. This is gonna be a fun ass game. I don't even care who wins. I don't even care if I pick this right. Um, but 30-29, Washington. What a great
Wait, what's
game.
the
I'm
score?
excited for this. 30
What
to 29.
30-29 Washington.
Yeah.
You suck ass Busta. Dude, you're drinking the fucking Kool-Aid, man. Dan Quinn's a great coach. Jaden Daniels is a great quarterback. They ain't ready for the big time that is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay,
Care where the
okay.
I don't care where the game is. I really don't. Pittsburgh was already going to win this game before they made these two moves. I mean, these two teams probably both won the trade deadline.
I think they did.
If I'm being honest. These two teams won the trade deadline, but they're not, dude. Russell Wilson solidifies himself as Pittsburgh legend if he wins this game. And that being the case, I'm going to pick Pittsburgh. And I'm going to say 34-24. Oh, Pittsburgh. How do we disagree so much?
I know. I'm kind of surprised too. Like I know that you love Washington. I know you love the Steelers too, though. So like I kind of really like both these teams too. They're both kind of feel good teams this year because they've both been kind of downtrodden. They both look fucking great. So that's why I'm excited for this game.
Well,
This
here's what it
this could
ultimately
I mean in a crazy fucked up world, this could be the Super Bowl.
here's what it ultimately came down to for me. All right. Russell Wilson's undefeated as a Pittsburgh Steeler, and I think Washington's 7-2.
Something like that.
Lost two games.
Yeah.
So they're beatable. That's all. That is all. And
Anyone's
I don't
beatable.
think they played a defense as good as Pittsburgh yet.
Okay. Okay. All right. Chargers and Titans.
Dude, I made promises on TikTok that I would watch the Chargers, who statistically have the best defense in the NFL. That's true.
That is surprising to me.
Points allowed, I should say.
Oh, okay. I was like, all right,
But
that
that's
makes.
what matters.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's true.
That's the statistic I want.
Yeah.
want to allow 13 points a game or less on my defense because when that happens, you need two touchdowns and you win. So I'm obviously taking the Chargers. Um, I'm gonna say 21-12.
Yeah. I'm not going to think too hard about this one. Bolts 37-17. No, 27-17. Sorry. For the Chargers. This one's mine. The Cardinals, the division leading Arizona Cardinals, which is the fucking weirdest sentence to come out of my mouth, take on the Jets. Um, who are one DUI trodden Eddie Lacy away from being the Packers retirement home. I'm taking the Cardinals in this one for obvious reasons. I think that Kyler is gaining some confidence. I think that Marvin Harrison is breaking out into being probably the best rookie receiver of this year. I think that the Jets, they beat Houston last week. It was kind of a fluky game. Couple of really great catches by Garrett Wilson. I just don't see it. I think James Conner's probably going to work that Jets defense a little bit, and I see them winning this game 24-10.
24-10 Arizona.
For the Desert Birds.
I don't want either team to win. I don't like it when I pick against the Jets and they win. I don't like that this win puts the Cardinals up even further in the stratosphere from Seattle, who is now in last place in the division. So I'm going to agree with you. 1917 Arizona Cardinals. Fuck the Jets.
The Birds. All right, we have a division showdown, which I thought at the beginning of the season was going to be like the two teams competing for this division. Um, I don't really feel that way anymore. I think Philly is probably Washington's best competition in the division, but still not very good. Um, and we are in Jerryland, so Cowboys hosting the Eagles. This one's yours.
Boy, oh boy, I got Philadelphia in this one. Um, just too much. I mean, Dallas wasn't going to win at full strength. Sam Howell certainly doesn't make them better. Philadelphia, 28-13.
Yeah, and this is like I don't even know if Sam Howell plays this game. I mean he just got to Dallas, so I don't even know if he's like gonna know all the schemes and all the plays by the time the game comes around. So we could see a Cooper Rush start before we see Sam Howell next week. Um, I think this game is a punt for Dallas. I think that they don't have any expectation of winning. So yeah, I will also take Philly on the road. I will take them 16-3.
16-3.
Just because Philly's struggling on offense, but Dallas has no offense. So,
That's fair. That's fair.
I get to pick another one of our marquee games here. The Houston Texans. Yeehaw, hosting the Detroit Lions. So, I'm gonna make this easy for you. I hope it's not easy for you. I hope that I scramble your brain a little bit on this. I'm taking the Texans at home, and the
Yeah.
reason I'm doing this is because Detroit looks so ironclad in Green Bay. They've looked so good. They've been scoring so many points. There has to be a break somewhere. CJ Stroud is coming off of his worst performance. The Texans are reeling a little bit, but they're at home. They're in their dome. They got, they got to find a way to build momentum. And I'm honestly, I'm picking the Texans just because I really want them to win. I don't know how logical this pick is, but I think that yeah, you got to make bold choices. And so I think that I'm going to take the Texans. I'm going to say they pull it off 30-27, maybe in overtime, maybe with a big kick. And I don't know, maybe I'm just being the king of wishful thinking here, but I got a gut feeling about this one.
Well, Captain, that is illogical. There's
Man,
no,
you don't have to tell me that twice.
so I pinch your neck. You missed this game completely. Detroit 45. Yeah, 45-24. And I'm going to tell you a couple things. Detroit on offense is full blast. They just picked up a rusher for their defense that's not anywhere near Aiden Hutchinson level, but they're going to tell him that he is the next Aiden Hutchinson. That may inspire his play. It may.
I
I
mean, he's
realize
Aiden Hutchinson for the next couple of weeks at
he
least.
has 2 sacks on the season, but I also look at Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs out for CJ Stroud. Tank Dell is not he's not even a wide receiver, and he's your best option right now. And that's a recipe for not beating the best team in the NFL.
All right, yeah, you're good.
I
I'm not
appreciate
changing my pick. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not changing my pick. I need Detroit to lose.
I will it. Will it like
I
I'm
mean,
winning Cincinnati.
it's one of those things, man. It's like I don't have a logical reason for picking against them, just that I really fucking want them to lose this game.
And you'll look like a genius if they do beat them.
No, I will. I
They
really
still
will.
have CJ Stroud. They still have
They're
Will
still
Anderson
they're still the
Jr.
Houston Texans, man. They're a good team.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyways, like I said, I'll make that last one easy for you. Oh no, there's one more. And it's your pick. And this isn't a terribly hard pick. But I will force you to pick a team you don't like. It's the Rams hosting the Dolphins. Depending on the venue of this fight, a Ram or a Dolphin would have a very easy win over the other one based on if it was in the ocean or on land. Who you got, James?
28-24, Miami.
Miami.
Yep.
Let's go. Are you picking them just because you want them to lose?
Tua, Tua makes him a better team, dude.
He healthy Tua does. Yeah. All right. I mean, I made the last one easy and I think you're making this easy. I mean, I'll take the Rams. I'm in
Okay,
the same
to be
a
fair
dude
though,
a dude who played for the Rams lived across the street from my in-laws of this building that I'm in right now. This giant Malibu mansion that that my wife's family owns. Um, but like, yeah, literally, yeah, I mean, Puka Nacua probably won't get thrown out of this game. Stafford's starting to get into his rhythm. The defense looks pretty good. That was a really clutch win in Seattle last week. And Miami, I don't think there's really any reason to keep playing as hard. I don't know. I think Tua's brain is just scrambled eggs at this point. So yeah, I don't think this is a hard pick, but that's fine. I get it. I made a bad pick again in the Detroit game.
you like okay. Give me a score and then I'm gonna burn the shit out of you.
You're gonna burn. Maybe I won't
Give me
give
a
you a score.
score for this game, motherfucker.
Maybe I'll just hang up and we can end the show here.
Well, I'll
Um,
burn you off the air.
you'll
You'll
burn
fucking
my
feel
text
it all the
messages
way
up.
there.
All right. I'm gonna take the Rams 24, Dolphins 10.
Okay. You realize all eyes are gonna be on this game now. Uh,
Uh-oh.
Here's the difference, Gobo. I have a justification for picking Miami. You have zero, nothing to work with in this Houston
True.
Detroit game. Like
It's true.
you're just like spitting vitriol and hatred on a team that's in your division. I'm not doing that. I can make a case for the Dolphins to win this game. I can actually make a case. Um, Seattle's bad, and the Rams barely got out of Seattle. It took two red zone turnovers, a pick six. Their offense didn't even score like 20 points on us. Their offense had 19 points or 20 points. They had 20 points. So they didn't even get three touchdowns on our defense, which is also really bad. The Giants beat Seattle at home. All right. So this Rams team beating Seattle in Seattle, that's like 16-14 in their last 30 home games, or 14-16. We actually have a losing record for the first time ever in Seattle over the last 30 games. This Rams team ain't great, okay? And I realize that they're just getting a lot of their people back, but uh Cooper Cup's old as shit. Sam Stafford is not the same Sam Stafford that won the Super Bowl.
That stuff.
Matt Stafford. Why did I say Sam Stafford? Sam Stafford, because he might as well be. He's a shell of his former self. All right. The coolest thing that the Rams have going for them is their young, vibrant coach. And he almost walked out on them 2 years ago. So, I mean, if you want to try and muster up something for Houston, Detroit, I'll listen, but
I got
I'll
nothing.
just laugh.
Honestly, I have plenty of hatred and vitriol around the Detroit game. I won't go into a lot of details, but like I said, there's I think the world needs Detroit to lose that game.
I mean, I'd be okay with it just because you know, it'd be good football for Houston to win.
Yeah, but I as a logical person, I know I'm not making a good bet here, but it's fine. There's a couple. I think that I have a game to give on you this week, and I think I'll gain. I think I'll
Oh,
gain. I think
oh,
I'll,
I was vastly irresponsible in the opening five.
I mean, I picked Denver too, so like, yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens.
I mean, we both made some jackassery on this episode for sure.
Yeah, but that's like the core point of this show is that we act like jackasses. Like if you want like if you want like actual common sense, like go watch the fucking dorks on DraftKings. Like yeah,
Yeah.
if you want you want to be entertained, then that's where we come in.
I kind of feel like in the news segment, we're all business. Like with the real opinions and the real like the Bears shit that I dropped on everybody today. That's real.
I mean that no, that is those are all factually accurate statistics.
This last 45 minutes is basically
Yeah,
it's comedy. It's comedy.
that's fine. You know what? I have your brain has two halves, most people's. Um, your brain has two halves, and one of it is for being creative, one of it is for being logical. I like to get both of them incorporated into our show. So, I mean, like I said, if you go and put $1,000 on Houston to beat Detroit because of something I said in this show, I apologize right now because I think that's an even worse thing to do. I'm not going to put money on this game.
Seriously, you don't somebody that would do that, you don't just want to call them the F word?
Yeah, I mean, I would call you foolish.
Just become homophobic for no reason?
You know,
Be betting
that's
on
like I think that yeah, when your anger swells up and your first thing is to be like, I hate this particular group of people, like you should probably that's probably therapy time then, man.
yeah.
Like that's my honest opinion. But
Or or time to vote in an election. One of the two.
yeah, you could also vote in an election. That's something that you're allowed to do in this country. Anyways, so that is NFL Week 10. I'm Gobo Moran. My good friend James Marves coming at me by way of the internet. And to you, make your picks down in the chat. I was not able to meet your jersey request this week because I am on the road and I have a limited amount of space in my suitcase. But next week I will be back home where my jerseys live. So if you want to request that I wear a particular team's jersey and it has not been worn already this year, put it in the comments. I'll find a way to get one for you.
Liar! Whoa, you can see my fingerprint. Um, I'll tell you what.
Do we have a request on deck
I'm
already?
going to tell you right now. If Miami beats the Rams, I need you to get a Seahawks jersey and wear it.
Well, I have a Seahawks jersey,
Oh,
and I
then
will.
wear it. Then wear
Yeah,
it.
I will wear it if Miami wins that
Okay.
game.
All right. Even
So,
better.
so do you get so if if the Rams win though, you have to do the whole next show wearing ICP makeup.
Oh, do I have that?
No, I'm just kidding. Don't do
But
that.
let me look it up. Could I do it? I'll do it.
You'll come in as a as Juggalo Marvs
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
or Juggalo Dames.
Fair.
I love it. Okay. All right. Yes.
Ooh.
Seahawks jersey or Juggalo makeup for my dear friend. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to check out all the other programming here on Lock 22. There is daily content. Check us out on TikTok, where you hear lots of our ravings. That is a lot more off cuff and from a tired and opinionated place than these shows. Um, take care of each other. Love each other. God bless this world that we live on, and happy holidays.
Hey, two things. Have a good vacation.
Thank you.
And question for you. Fuck the Jets.
Oh, obviously, fuck the Jets.